Stir.
How's everybody doing today? This is KLZ 560 AM with the Guy's Perspective. We're on every Saturday from 2 to 3, and you can always reach us and talk to the guys at 303-477-5600. Again, that's 303-477-5600. We just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody, and let's go around the room and introduce ourselves. We'll start here at the left.
Reno, local business owner.
I'm your mama's boy, favorite janitor.
I'm Brock.
And this is Heath Hine, Clear View, windshield repair.
Again, like we said, we just want to tell everybody Merry Christmas. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there doing that last minute Christmas shopping. Have you guys finished your Christmas shopping?
Oh yeah, my list was short, man. I didn't have a whole lot of money. Dollar store, Dollar General, baby.
That's funny. What about you guys?
No, I'm the last minute.
Last minute.
Both you guys last minute?
What about you?
Forget all that. I'm all done. So let's get into our show. Today we're going to, listen. Next week's show is going to be about dementia. So people tune in to that. I think it's going to be really good. We're going to be talking about Michael's book. It's called ABCs for Dementia for caregivers. So we want to give a shout out to him and say thank you for the donation he gave us, and
Yeah,
just
thank you, Michael.
listen
Yeah,
next
thanks,
week,
Mike.
and we're going to try to dive into dementia and figure it all out. Again, next year, people, our book is going to come out, so we'll let everybody know when it's going to come out, but we're in the process of writing it. So hope we
Because
get into
people
some
want to read
stories.
about my janitor diaries.
Somebody might want to hear about you plunging the toilet is right.
My janitor diaries.
All right, let's go into it. Grit is drive, it's stamina, and it's fortitude to push through any obstacle or challenge until success is achieved. Do you guys feel like you have just grit when it comes to daily life or your business or just situations in life? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think grit is perseverance for a very long term goal. And
Yeah.
see, I mean, you have very long. So I mean, if a challenge comes your way, what is your response? Most people fall. Most people, take a turn. How many people, can overcome that obstacle?
I'm gonna challenge you on that. I think most people, that are alive and breathing have made it. They've made it through every challenge thrown at them to this point.
Yeah, that is very true.
But I'm talking goals.
Yeah, but sometimes the goal is just to live.
Reno.
I don't necessarily agree with that. If that, so the definition of grit, we might want to start with
Yeah.
the combination of passion and perseverance for long-term, meaningful goals.
That's the truth, because I think if a person's going to reach their goals, grit isn't. I think talent. This is how I picture it. I picture an athlete who's got mad amount of talent, and they're on a football field or they're on a baseball field, and they excel past everybody else, but they don't make it to the pros because they don't have grit. They've got true talent,
Natural
but-
ability.
right? But they don't have the ability to stick through everything when times get hard.
That doesn't mean they don't have grit.
No, I'm saying if they don't
Because-
make it, it may very well be that they don't
Well,
have grit.
That could be, but there's a lot of different circumstances to cause someone not to make it.
True.
There's a lot of talent that didn't make it. Doesn't mean they didn't have grit.
I guess that's an interesting way of looking at it, because I took it as without grit you don't make it.
Or they could have had an injury,
That's true.
or there was
That's
someone
true.
that just wanted it a little bit more than them.
So do you guys think grit is, especially when it comes to, like we said, success, money, athletes, do you think grit is got to be at the top of what they have?
It's necessary.
It's necessary.
But I want to bring up North Korea.
Okay. What does that have to do with grit?
The Christians that are there that shouldn't be Christians
Oh man.
are, they have grit and determination, though it wouldn't be seen as such from a success standpoint.
Wow.
They're just maintaining. They're trying not to die. That's grit.
To keep your faith.
They don't. Yeah, they don't have any. There's nothing to say that they had grit to attain anything material. They're just clinging so hard to their faith that they can go against the tyranny of like Kim Jong-un.
So I guess that comes down to success then. At the end of the day, what does one person define success? Because if you want to be successful at something, then you have grit to it. You have what it takes to see yourself crossing that finish line, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, couldn't that work in church? I mean, because there's a whole lot of people that want. Because didn't the Bible say something like that? Like the word fell on some on stony ground, some on thorny ground, and some people heard the word, they were excited.
The
Next
soil
thing you
wasn't
know, they were
ready.
gone.
Yeah.
I mean that I think serving the Lord takes grit. I think being a millionaire takes grit. I think.
Reno and I looked at each other.
Okay, let me hear. Let me hear.
Well, it depends on how you get to millionaire status. Did you win the lottery, or did you work for it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
inheritance,
Or did you work
or
for
did
it?
you work for it?
I still think it all comes down to
Yeah,
grit.
he makes up a good point. How many people are unhappy that actually won
Oh,
Powerball?
statistically
I mean, there are
speaking,
so many
statistically speaking, anybody most people who have won millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, they're broke within about like 6-7 years, and in worse financial position than they were when they started.
I was just about to say that exact thing.
Wow.
Think of how crazy that sounds, but it's true.
Do you think it's because of they have a character flaw? Would
Bad
you say because when you look at grit, that has to do with your character, to keep going when things get tough.
So I would say no, because it's financial literacy. If you don't understand money, a fool will depart from his money very quickly. So you give a fool money, and I'm saying fool because that's biblical, but the not having a knowledge of money, you're not going to know what to do with it. You'll lose it and become in debt, just like Heath said.
Yeah, you're right, Reno. Money grows wings when it's in a fool's hands, and then there's also what is it? He who is trustworthy with little will be trustworthy with much, and he who is untrustworthy with little will be untrustworthy with much. So they weren't prepared for the money that came.
And people, listen, if you know more than us, call at 303-477-5600. Tell us about an incident where you had to have grit in your life, where you had to keep the why factor. Because I think about grit like this. You have something that you want in front of you. Why do you want it, and what keeps pushing you forward to get it, Reno?
And grit is a personality trait.
Really?
Character.
Grit is a personality trait that combines passion and perseverance,
Mm.
long-term goals. So
So then
it is a
basically,
personality trait.
yeah. So then basically, there's people out there that don't have grit. They've got to learn it.
Gritless.
Yeah.
Some people are gritless.
No. Back to what you guys said
I
about
love
money.
grits.
I mean,
I
if you,
do. I love
like to
grit.
eat grits.
I do too.
I
with
hate
honey,
grits.
with honey or with butter.
horrible all the way
It depends
around.
on what I'm eating with it.
Yeah.
Guys, but what you guys said about money, it's true. It takes. Look at what you guys said. People that have obtained wealth, just like right out the gate, and all of a sudden they lose it. They didn't have any kind of financial ability. They had no grit to turn around and say, "Hey, I'm going to make this thing last me so that it can set up my kids and their kids."
I don't think it has anything to do with grit.
You at all? You don't think?
I don't. When you get a lump sum of money and you're ill prepared, I don't think that has anything to do with grit. I think it's financial literacy. It's they're not equipped, and they don't have the knowledge of finances to keep that or make that money work for them.
So the question is it grit to maintain something, or is it only grit to obtain something?
Well, so I was
Because
thinking.
if it's given to you and you just maintaining it, is that grit?
Well,
just maintain.
like I said, if you have a plan to pass it down to your kids and your kids pass it down to their kids, those are long-term successful goals. Wouldn't that be grit?
As Reno said, goal.
You can have all the grit you want if you don't have knowledge. What are you using to fuel it?
That is
true.
That, you can't argue with that.
Well,
That's
if you had
true.
grit to get the money that you want to obtain, then you need determined to keep it.
I agree with that. I agree with that too.
From
You-
grit
you-
to grit.
You have
From
to.
grit to determination that it's not going to get wings and fly away. That it's going to stay nice and cozy in my bank account.
Because this is what it says. It
Wait
said
a
it
minute.
could.
Wait a minute. If it's in your bank account, what is it doing?
Oh, it's not making baby grits. That's for
No.
No,
He's right.
It's just sitting there.
If
Yeah,
it's just
it's not
sitting there and it's not
leveraging.
making any money,
You have to use a vehicle to make that money make money.
Whoa,
or
whoa,
it's just gonna
whoa. How
Oh.
many? Hold on. how
Reno's
many-
right.
No. Listen.
Reno's right.
Okay.
Listen. If you
This
just
is
sit it in
deep, guys.
If you just sit it in the bank account, how much interest are you gaining?
Right.
It's gonna soon leave you, unless you put it in a vehicle that is gonna create more money.
Okay, well, how many people have
Even if it's,
invested in the wrong?
well, put
How
it
many
in a-
people made
put it
wrong
in a
investments
savings
and it
account
cost
that
them
gets-
millions? Money.
Well, at least put it in a savings account that earns interest.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Than sit
Okay.
in a bank account where it's gonna
Oh, see,
dissipate.
he's talking biblical, man. There's the parable of the talents, and the one that buried it was a wicked and lazy servant. And he said, "You ought to, if you knew I was
So-
a hard man and I collected where I didn't, so that you ought to put it in a bank so I'd get some
No, but
interest."
if you just put it in a bank account where it's not collecting interest,
Yeah,
which one are you, the man with one talent?
lazy. You're the lazy man.
So it says this when it comes to
Yeah.
grit. It asks the question, why? Committing to a meaningful purpose is the first ingredient in developing grit. It will keep you motivated when things in your life fall apart or becomes difficult. So like you guys are talking about money. How does money tie into grit? Is it, like you guys said, is it somebody who just keeps it in a bank account and never does anything with it? Or
No,
somebody
because-
who uses it as a vehicle to move forward to gain wealth?
No, because that's most people's determination to get is money.
Okay.
So most people's determination is to become rich, to have the nice cars and the nice house.
And I think that should be people's goal, but that's me. You know, I think wealth is something every person in America should strive to have.
Hmm.
Well, nowadays it's a must. I mean, you should go look at insurance,
Did-
health insurance. I
Did
mean, when you go from health insurance to daycare, I mean that's most of your check just for daycare if somebody has kids.
And people call it 303-477-5600 and chime in with us on this. This is a good topic.
I'm trying to think of some grit and grit-less people in the Bible, man.
Well, here, I'll tell you people that had grit. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Grit
look at this.
and gritless.
Michael Jordan had so much grit in his life that they benched this dude his senior year, and he went on to be the #1 NBA player of all time.
So against all odds.
Against all odds. Here's another one I'll give you.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Can you say that again?
Michael Jordan.
Was the #1?
Yeah, yes. Well, we're not going to sit back and debate whether he or LeBron. I'm a LeBron fan. You guys already know that. But at
But
the
you're
end of
admitting
the
that
yes.
Michael Jordan
At
is-
the end of the day, Michael
You make a
Jordan
point.
is the guy that's at the top of the food chain. His shoes are still being sold today.
Yeah.
You know.
Can't feel his shoes.
I mean, we can go back onto the debate of who in the world made the shoe. Did the shoe make Jordan, or did Jordan make the shoe, man? I still
Keep
say the
going
shoe
with-
made Jordan. Okay.
keep going with your list.
Okay, all right. Abraham Lincoln, he had some grit.
Why
Will
did he
you-
have grit?
He became a president. It takes a whole lot of grit to become a president. You know what I'm saying? Well, hold on, check it out. Okay, we got the Wright brothers. How many times did they fail trying to make flight?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean that takes a whole
Determination.
lot of grit.
A lot of,
So-
lot
so
of
I-
highs and lows.
Right. So I think when it asks the question of why do you want to be successful, a person has to answer that in order to have grit.
For the purpose.
I got another person to add to the list.
Okay.
Nikolai Tesla.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
he had grit, but he died
Okay.
gritless.
How do you figure?
No, he didn't quit.
He never
He
quit.
didn't quit. They made him out to be crazy, but he didn't quit.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Is
And I
he,
don't think he was crazy.
So-
I just
so-
think they couldn't monetize what he was doing.
so they take it from him. So they take it from him to monetize.
Mm.
So
Mm.
but that's the thing is, does it always have to be that grit equates to monetization or materialism?
Oh, for sure.
No.
Yeah,
it
no,
didn't- it
because
didn't
without
for
grit,
Nikolai Tesla.
without
he just,
grit,
he
you
just
can't
mentioned,
have success.
He just
I do
mentioned,
not believe you can. He had success
I
though.
disagree.
Okay, explain that.
Monetarily.
Explain it. I think you have to have
There's-
grit in all parts of life in order to be successful.
there are many artists
No,
who
you were
now
saying monetarily.
Monetarily,
there's people
spiritually, mentally.
No, there's people that have causes. There's
Okay.
people that fight for causes that have grit, but they're not being rewarded monetarily. They're being rewarded in a different fashion.
there are
Do you
artists.
think though?
If they're saving lives.
Brother, there.
That's
there
true.
That's true.
Look, man,
He's
there are
making
artists.
a good point.
Brock, there are artists who weren't recognized during their time as being great artists. Only now do they get the recognition. So they never achieved.
Well, hold on, but their
What-
their grit carried their success throughout the ages.
No, but who are you referring to?
Michelangelo,
No, there's plenty of them.
Van
There's
Gogh,
for sure.
right? These guys, they didn't achieve. They didn't get to see the fruit of their labor, but that fruit of their labor is now. And Elvis too.
Oh, he's
He-
on my
he-
list. Elvis is on my
He got-
list.
Yeah, he got to see it and live it, but people are still living off it.
Right, but you also got to look at Thomas
They said
Edison.
he's still alive.
Thomas Edison's one person who had to have grit. Oh, forget it. We might as well just say President Trump. He had to have grit. It takes a lot of grit to turn back around after you lose the 2020 election and come back and run as president. There's
Yeah.
this is okay. This is how I believe. I believe that if your name is going to last forever and you're going to be successful, you're going to have some kind of grit in your life because you're going to get knocked down eventually. I've heard you men say it, that life is not fair, that life is hard, and it's going to knock you down.
Absolutely.
Mm.
I think it takes some grit to get back up from that.
Yeah.
And
But-
perseverance.
Mhm.
Well, I think perseverance
That's a
and all
part-
that comes right along with grit, right?
Perseverance is part of grit.
Yeah, purpose, perseverance, and having a goal. I think that is the one thing that's missing for a lot of people, though, is they don't have the goal. They don't have that vision that they're striving to attain.
It's a why.
The why.
True.
Why? I mean
Yeah.
that has to drive
My-
the grit. I mean, if you
to pat myself on the back a little bit for the house that I built, that took grit of me pulling a lot of people together to see it to fruition.
Yeah, I would like to help you with that.
Oh man.
Guys, because at the end of the day, grit matters because it is a part of the ambition that shows up. Grit sustains all your effort over time, especially in the face of failure. There's some people that when they fail, they're not getting up. Because like you guys said, grit is an attribute. It's something that some people can learn to have, but if they don't initially have it and they get hit with failure, they stay down.
Some people would just never have it.
Wow.
It's a personality trait.
Do you think a person can learn to have grit? I guess that would be the
I
question.
think you either have it or you don't.
Wow.
Wow. So you don't think they can learn it, huh?
If you don't have it, how can you learn it? If it's a personality trait.
Oh
can you
my
learn
goodness,
personality
that
traits?
is deep. That's funny you said that because I was going to read with this psychologist. Everything that I've read so far was cited by this Angela Gutierrez, and she was saying that if a person doesn't have grit, it's something they have to learn in order to be successful. If you're going to have a successful business, you have to have grit. If you're going to be a millionaire, you have to have grit.
If you don't have it, how do you learn it?
That's the question that I asked
How do
too.
you learn a personality trait?
I think, and this is from everything I've read, I think the way a person learns to have grit is you have to get knocked down. If you never fail, then you can't even learn what grit is. Because grit is what gets you back on your feet and keeps you on that path.
So I think I agree with you on that. You can learn it,
If you get knocked down.
but it's if you don't have it. I agree with you. You have to get knocked down. You have to have something happen to spark that in you.
For sure. Oh yeah,
So-
100%.
So that means that people have to be willing to fail. They have to be willing to fail. Sometimes people aren't willing
Fall
to fail.
forward.
Fall
For,
forward.
for example, let's talk about this man.
Sometimes
who-
people
who-
play it safe.
Let's talk about this man whose wife had dementia. For example, Michael. If you're listening, thank you for the donation you sent us. He had to have had grit to stay with his wife the whole time when she had dementia, because dementia is a part of Alzheimer's, right?
So there's another
I
element in
think.
that. He also had to have love.
Oh my God, that is.
Wow.
Dude,
Yeah, I think that's
dude,
where it
he
starts.
just opened a can of worms, bro.
Yeah, I think that's where it all starts is with love. You have to love.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, you have to love what you're pursuing.
Oh
goal.
my
When you have a goal,
God.
I think
If you make a
your
choice-
mind's set to achieve that goal.
If he made a choice to be with his wife forever, he's gonna do whatever it takes. So
Wow.
that
That
driving
was
force-
deep.
Wow, man, dude, I want to add that to the Bible. I know we shouldn't add things because the plagues will be added to us, but
Well, then, this
but
guy,
no,
man,
no, what I-
this guy.
look it, check it out. I think one of the things that should be added is like, you could speak in tongues and tongues of angels, but it sound like a clanging gong. If you don't have love, right? You could have all these premonitions and see visions, but if you don't have love, but like grit. Like you could have drive, determination to make your way through life and be successful, but if you don't have love, it's all worthless.
That's deep, dude. I never thought of what you guys are saying.
If you think about it, you do have to love what you're doing.
You do. That never crossed my mind.
I would not be an electrician today if I didn't enjoy what I do.
Wow.
I wouldn't be
Wow.
a windshield repairman today if I didn't destroy a bunch of glass.
But how many people do you think fail while they're having perseverance and waiting, but things are happening very slow? Like you're trying to
That's the-
speak something into existence and time goes on and time goes on and time goes on before self-doubt comes in.
And that's
Before
the
you,
perseverance.
yeah, but all I'm saying, how many people do you think fail at that point? Like
I'm
you
sure
you
there's a
might
lot
get
of
to that
people that
point, but
fail.
then somebody's telling you it's never going to happen, it's not going to work, and before you know it, you start self-doubting and you start not believing.
That's where you gotta get those voices out of your head. If someone tells me I can't do it, that's gonna drive me harder to prove them wrong.
For sure.
Why is that? It's for me too. When I get told I can't, that's the fuel that I run off of. It's like the most premium fuel.
And people call us at 303-477-5600 because I'm asking you guys the question. So love, without love, you don't have grit. Or does love and grit goes? Because that gentleman would have never stayed with her without the love factor.
I think the love fuels the grit. Like you have to have
Jesus,
grit.
that is deep, dude.
But that love is like driving. I believe it would drive you forward.
So I guess that brings up the next question when it comes to salvation, right? Salvation is God's end goal for humanity. This is deep. You guys just opened my mind. Salvation is God's end goal to humanity, but it takes His love to keep Him on the path of forgiving everybody.
Wait, no, I think it's the opposite.
Oh, you think it's the
Yeah, I
opposite?
think you need to love God to be perseverance to keep going when the enemy attacks you.
So you don't
Exactly.
think it's God's love that keeps His mercy being applied to you every
No,
day?
because that'll never go away. That's why he died
Should
on
we-
the cross, because he loved everybody.
Should we thank the devil for testing us all the time so that we have to fight and have the grit to be loved by God?
No, scratch that. But no. Honestly, so Brian is saying that it takes your grit and your determination to love God versus God's love and determination on
Because
you.
his love towards you will never fail.
That's a work
It's never going to
stone.
go away.
So do you think
Isn't that a
a
word?
person should love God first and God loves them, or does God love them then they love God
No,
next?
I'm saying that it determines if you love God. If you're going to are you going to be persevere?
Persevere and be pursuant of God.
Can't say that.
And everybody's call us on the other side at 303-477-5600. This has now gotten really deep. Like, we want people's input of is Brian right? Am I
Grit.
wrong? Am I wrong? And Brian right? Like that. It's going to be interesting. So we'll see you on the other side.
All right.
God, man, I can't believe
I don't say that word to save my life.
Hey, when you tap on the table,
You hear it.
you can hear it.
I was doing it over there and I noticed it.
Who's tapping?
All of us.
Yeah,
All of us.
yeah.
All of
You
us.
can
You can
put
hear
your
it.
phone down and
I cannot say that stupid
God,
word.
dude, I
Charlie.
didn't think about that until I didn't think about that until you said that. Like,
Charlie.
that dude must have loved his wife in order to keep that determination. Because he said it. He said it was. I read what he said. He said it was hard, dude. Very hard.
Dude, I don't
If
think I'm
he
thinking
did
so
not
good because
love her-
I'm sick, bro. I had to go to the hospital. I shouldn't be here.
Oh, here
are
we
you
go,
getting us
bro.
all sick? Are you
No,
contagious?
They told me they didn't know what it was. I went to the hospital. They did strep throat. No,
Dude, I told
I had
you you were
lumps.
perfectly
I had
fine.
my
This
tonsils were completely
dude.
swollen. I said, well, what do you?
Have you had your tonsils removed?
No.
Hey, you been eating that girl? You might have a yeast infection.
Is that what would happen? She did.
Yeah.
You never know.
Jesus.
Yeasty boys.
No, serious, dude. I mean, I should have stayed away, but. Sorry, guys. I should be at home, actually.
You better not get me sick.
I'm not sick.
Mentally.
They told me I went to the hospital and they told me they didn't know.
Or were you just tying him into the show anyway? And then we'll have a different show?
But yeah, we can't. Our next show is
Well,
going
you
to
don't
be
have
about
fever, so
dementia.
you're probably not
But it
taking
was
it.
perfect the way we tied it in like that.
Just my
Good job.
my
Dude,
tonsils
because
were swollen.
I didn't think about the
And I had a
love part.
cough.
That changes
Could be
everything now.
tonsillitis.
Here's
No,
the nice
they
thing.
look.
We're giving him 2 shows.
they know.
For sure.
We're talking
They could,
about him.
they could
For
just be
sure.
inflamed or aggravated.
Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe it's something you ate.
I mean, I lost today, boys.
Huh?
I agree with Reno. We got to stop that.
We have to.
All
dude.
of us.
Especially over there because we're recording. So all that stuff. Well, here too, but
Yeah, I agree.
How's everybody doing today? This is KLZ 560 AM. This is the second part of our show. You can always get in touch with us at 303-477-5600. So we're talking about grit. There's something I want to read to you guys. Failure will either debilitate someone and make them weak or feeble, or it will propel someone to look at their setbacks as data, not defeat. So grit matters. You made the comment. Okay, what was it that you were wanting to say?
I was just going to ask a question. So, another definition of grit: sand, gravel, hard, sharp, granule, also material, abrasive.
Mm.
If you have grit, are you abrasive?
I think you are, man. I think
so.
you are. And people, listen, call at 303-477-5600. Tell us if you can have grit without love, or if love is what trumps it. Because on the other side, we were talking about Michael. And for people that don't know, he has a book. His wife had dementia, and we brought up the comment that he had grit to be able to stay with his significant other through such a hard time. Like dementia is part of like Alzheimer's or forgetting things.
It's in research and reading some of the book so far, I discovered that it's the brain dying.
So the brain dying. I mean, that's
dying.
powerful. And for him to have stayed with his significant other, was it love or was it grit? And you said love trumps it all.
I think it was a combination of both. You have to have grit. You're not going to give up.
Okay.
You're going to keep moving forward. You're going to see it through. But without love I believe love was the reason he stayed. He kept going forward.
Wow. That is so powerful,
Yeah,
Brian.
yeah. The Bible says love endures all things.
Wow.
So when those challenges comes and you love what you're pursuing or your dedication, you will endure the obstacles and the challenges that come your way.
What's it say, B? It says, love is not proud, it is not boastful, it does not envy, it does not boast, and it endures all things.
So you have that.
Right.
So with that love, you're going to keep moving forward.
Okay.
You're not going to give up on that thing that you love, whether it be, your wife or your business or whatever it is.
So do you think in a business aspect or a church aspect, like people continue traveling down the path that they travel down is number one, because they have love, and number two, they want to succeed? I mean, why would you keep, for example, look at all the failures. Like we talked about Michael Jordan and him getting benched his senior year. If he didn't love basketball, that could have probably threw him off course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have caused him to give up if he didn't have a love for the game.
Yeah, I think grit and love go hand in hand, but I have to agree with you guys. I think love more. I think because God loves humanity, he died on Calvary, but I could be wrong. But I also, like I was saying, and that Brian disagreed with me, and people call in because this is really good.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that you're making that God, stumbled upon falling in love with humanity when God is created out of love. God's, already loved us.
Well, the problem with that
he
is
loved us after he died on the cross, kind of scenario.
No. The problem I have with God loving us first versus his grit being our salvation is he flooded the whole world and killed everybody. I mean, at the end of the
It was
day,
an act of love, though, actually.
no.
was an act of love.
I'm not saying that's not an act of love, but I'm saying
You make a good point.
God's
You're a good point.
determined grit outweighs his ability to love people.
That's a good point.
Because he has a plan, so because he's got a plan, he follows that through versus whether he loves somebody or doesn't love somebody.
Don't you remember when Moses gave up on the people? He's like, just start over, man. And God's like, no, let's keep going with these guys.
No,
you have it
backwards.
No.
Yeah, you have it backwards.
No, it happened twice.
No, it happened once.
It happened twice.
No, it was Moses
Yeah.
that said no. We need to keep going with these people.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
So
it
God,
wasn't God that was giving.
God
it
wanted to end them,
Yes.
Yeah.
People
And-
call that 303-477.
and Moses
5600 to tell
contended
us
for
about
him,
this.
and then God relented.
Right. He
All right.
repented.
Okay.
so the way
You're right.
the way I think about it is everything is, you guys are saying love comes first. I say, God, man, that's throwing
you
me
make
for
a
a
great
loop
point,
because
though.
I see God's plan. He says, I follow my plan, even though I love these people. I've got to do away with them for my plan.
Yeah.
Arena was first, and then Brian.
Well, I'm not saying love comes first. It's a combination of grit. You got to have that love for what you're doing.
Can grit
I know-
cause
hey.
a person to love somebody? Can grit do that? Can you want something so bad that you begin to love it?
I'm gonna show you grit right now, man. Grit, firsthand, because I mentioned Moses and contending with God, right? And how it was actually Moses was like, get rid of these people, and God was like, no. Well, it happened again, and it happened with Abraham, who was talking with God about, hey, if there's like 50 people there,
Oh, this is deep.
and he's like,
This
if
is
there's like 10 people there, and he's like, I won't kill them all for the sake of 5 for Sodom and Gomorrah. So he contended with God. No, wait, God wanted to kill them too.
No. Yeah.
Didn't
When it comes to the
Didn't
ability
he?
of changing
Oh,
God's
man.
mind, there's a lot of people that don't believe you can change God's mind, and you can.
Well, it's
It just happened right there in the Bible. It's proven.
in the Bible.
It's proven in the Bible.
The-
And so listen, people call it 303-477-5600. I just think that grit comes first, and because you have such a determination for something, the love factor, maybe they just go hand in hand. I don't know.
I don't think it's one comes before the other. I think it's a combination. If you have grit but you don't love something, you're not going to go after that. But if
God,
you-
man, that
if you
is so
love-
true,
if
man.
you love what you do and you don't have grit, then you're not going to see it through, although you love it.
Art.
But if you love something and you have grit, there's nothing that can stop you.
Oh my God, that is deep, dude. That's he has to be right there, right, guys?
So are a lot of those just like synonyms in the same realm or same vein of something? So
What do you mean?
determination, follow through, perseverance, grit, love at the end of them all.
Yeah, well, yes, it has to be, because what makes a man successful? If you don't have love and grit for the things that you want, you're not going to obtain it, right?
Right? You have to have a desire for it.
You have to have a desire for it.
Then you have to have an ability to get back up when you get knocked down, because if you're going for something, business will eat your lunch.
And people call it 303-477-5600. Tell us what comes first, love or grit.
Is-
I agree with you. It has to go hand in hand. But what comes first, though?
I don't know if there is some. I don't know if it comes first.
Mm.
Because grit.
Mm.
So grit is in you. If it's not in you,
You have to learn it.
You have to learn it. The only way to learn it is to
Overc-
need it.
Overcome
okay.
failure, overcome failure.
Right, but
Right.
then that comes back to the same question. What about love? Is love something that's in you, or is love something that you've learned?
Well, you have to experience something to know if that's what you want to do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think a lot has to do with your upbringing, though. So, a lot of athletes, didn't have the best place to live, only had a mother, didn't have a father. So
Why
those
does
are-
everybody say only the mother and not the father?
Because most of the time that's all you ever hear when they're telling their story.
Okay.
That's all you ever hear most of the time. Oh, my dad left us when we were younger. We didn't, we lived in a bad, neighborhood.
See, and that's where.
That's the-
But what
that's-
I'm trying to say
but
is
we
the
hear
grit
we
came-
hear that stereotypical talk, because it's always when we, at least the way I see it, and I'll let you talk. It's whenever we hear like, oh, my dad left A, B, C, and D. How many women have manipulated those kids and put a restraining order on the father, and these little kids don't even know why their dad's not coming along, and
Oh,
the
that's
mom
true.
makes the comment.
I was a single parent. I had custody of my 2 kids when they were younger, and the mom left. She chose to left, so that's not always
The case.
and they don't publicize. They make a big deal about the dad leaving, but the mom leaving affects the kids just as much, if
So-
not more.
So let me, that's funny you guys are talking about this. So does it take grit? You were a single dad. Does it take, what was more? Did it take grit or love to make sure you were there for your kids even though she left?
Obviously, I love my kids.
Yeah, for sure.
But there was nothing I wouldn't do for them. Excuse me. There was nothing I wouldn't do for them to see them happy. you know?
Right, right.
So I worked my butt off.
That's deep,
But
man.
I mean, he was saying earlier that you're either born with it or you're not. But I say circumstances when you're younger determines if you have it or you
Shape
don't.
it.
Yeah,
Circumstances
I think
only.
you're shaped in determination. I don't believe you're born with it. I
That's-
believe you're shaping into it.
Call at 303-477-5600.
Like I was saying, when you're in a bad situation as a kid, more people are prone to.
No, I'm saying you're right.
Oh yeah,
You're right.
so I
But
don't.
you have to
Alright.
find out. You have to find out whether you have it or not.
But what? How can you find out if you have it or not if you're
Well,
just
you
born
fall.
into
That's why-
success? You're
Well,
born. You know, your family's
you-
rich. Your family's this. Your family has a lot of money.
Do you need grit at that point? You just really need literacy to keep it.
Yeah, of course. So
That's
you
why-
need grit. So
that's
now
why
you're
I'm-
telling me you need grit if you're poor.
I think
That's kinda what you're saying.
no. What I think he's saying is grit is something that is found when you fail. And I don't care if you
So
have
then-
the type of money Elon Musk has. You're eventually going to fail.
So,
So
then
then
it's
to-
more than just money and obtaining.
Possessions and materialism. So I'll bring it back to what I started off with the show, man. Is that like I think that it's quite possible that everybody in life has failed.
Oh, I believe
Listeners,
that. I believe that.
Listeners, have you failed? Have we failed here? Yeah. So if everybody's failed, then everybody in some capacity has grit.
That's what I was saying.
If you get back up.
If you get back up, because a person who commits suicide had no grit.
But what about the 40 or 50 years that it took them to come to that conclusion?
Well, I mean, grit is, if I'm understanding grit right, it's to get to your end goal of success. If a person turns around and commits suicide because there's so many circumstances, keep up.
No, I don't agree with that. If someone commits suicide, they could have grit.
You think they could?
Yes, because there's mental illness.
For how long they've been through it?
Oh, I didn't think about mental illness.
So just because they committed suicide doesn't mean they did not have grit.
Well, yeah,
They might-
perseverance comes along with grit, and they weren't.
Well, then that means they didn't love themselves. So love and grit are different.
That doesn't. Yeah, of course, love and grit is different.
So
Right.
I gotta
They go
disagree.
hand in hand.
I gotta disagree.
Yeah, I got to disagree with you guys. I'm with Brian on
Because
this one. I
if
disagree
grit-
with you
if
too.
grit has
People call it
perseverance-
303-477-5600.
If
I
grit-
disagree with you
if
too.
grit has perseverance and they killed themselves, they didn't have perseverance to pursue.
That's not true because there's mental illness. They might have wanted it more than anything, but there is mental illness.
Mental illness is a real thing. So you're thinking, so you're saying that the mental illness was so strong on them that they ended up committing suicide because they had no way out of their mental
So
illness?
Someone could
Yeah.
have just grit
Okay.
and become depressed, or have some psychological problem or imbalance. That
Mhm.
doesn't mean they didn't have grit.
But the whole show we've been talking about is overcoming hard obstacles in hard situations.
Right.
Right. So if you're
You
not,
overcome yours?
oh, dude.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. Oh, that's powerful.
See, but that's
But
that's
that-
I don't,
That's
I don't
grit
think that's
though.
a fair.
That's
That
well.
I don't think that's.
Yeah,
That
I
doesn't
did what the
make you
Bible told me.
suicidal.
The Bible says
I
a
think-
righteous man falls 7 times and
Oh.
gets back up. I fell, 70 times 7, and I'm still getting back up.
Yeah, we're all getting back up.
Yeah.
Right, I just, but
But
this is me, guys. I think grit. If you commit suicide, I don't think you had grit. But that's me though.
So, just because someone doesn't commit suicide, does that mean they have grit?
Yes, I think they've made up in their mind, determined whether they have a mental illness or not. That at the end of the day, I'm
So-
going to succeed.
There's a lot of homeless people out there that have given up on success.
Mm.
So you're telling
Mm.
me they didn't commit suicide.
That's
that means they have
that's
grit?
good. That's good. That's good. That's very good. God, man, this is deep, dude. We need a psychologist. If you were a psychologist major, call at 303-477-5600. We would love to have somebody break this down for us. Because
So now have we determined that only people who are living and haven't died have grit?
well, what I
Like-
tried saying is that if you committed suicide,
Like,
that you didn't
all right,
have
all right,
grit
all right.
and you didn't love yourself.
I got one for you, man. Hey, we all have like electricity and running water and beds and stuff like that. You think you could have had the grit to survive like Egypt? You think you could have had the grit to survive like 1904?
Right, I've asked that question
You
many
think you could-
times.
Man.
Like
Yeah,
in
that's the
comparison,
way you were brought up.
right? So yeah. So then, is it innate or is it nature versus nurture? So like circumstance seems to prove one's grit or not.
Wow,
Circumstance.
Wow.
wow, that's what Brian was saying. So because I've asked the question many times. Could you take somebody from 25? I mean,
Put 'em
and
back where?
Put them back in, let's say, medieval times.
Oh.
Would they survive?
Oh.
I don't know if
They
they
don't
have.
know.
Right, they don't. I don't know if
They
they
don't.
have the ability to make it.
There's if you take so that doesn't make sense. 'Cause
But
they're
what
from that.
what I'm saying is, would they have the ability to be able to adapt
And
that
survive
way
in that.
and survive? Would that grit kick in and they say, "Hey,
That-
I'm going to make it"?
That is the beautiful thing about humanity, is that we usually have the ability to endure, overcome, have the grit, and adapt.
Because guys, I want to say this: if you look at Donald Trump, he lost the election. That man didn't need the money. He didn't need to run again. He ran because he saw a situation. That had to have taken tremendous grit for that man to go back on go back and start the election over and become president again. I think that took tremendous grit. But that's
even
me.
when he got shot.
Yes, yes. You bring up a good
I mean,
point.
most people would have.
Most people would, checked out. But he had something inside of him that said, "Hey, I'm going to continue." How's it going, David? Tell us what you think. David. Good, buddy. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Mm.
Wow. Wow. Strategy of tension, man. We're gonna look at that's deep. Are you like a professor or something? How did you know all this? Really? Oh my God. Wow.
David, what before we let you go, what example can you give us of grit that you've had in life that you've overcome or saw through? Your own grit.
Wow. What?
Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh.
What in the world?
Right.
Mm.
Man.
David, thank you for coming on air with us, man.
Man, you got so much to talk about.
We won't be. Our next 2 episodes will be taped, so we won't take callers. So in 3 weeks, call back, man. We'd like to have a talk with you. Thank you.
Hey,
Merry Christmas.
Happy season.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Bye. Man,
Wow,
that was
that
deep what he
David,
said,
What do you
dude.
think that shooting he was
That,
talking
that,
about?
that was.
Ludlow?
Yeah, when was that?
Oh, he was talking about
He said 1980s.
Oh, no.
Or maybe even sooner. Like that's deep. Did you hear what he said about Hitler? And so that is deep, dude.
in the rise to power with the it's the dissension, but it's what is it? Pressure, tension.
Yeah, exactly. And it just makes you wonder, like, he talked about grit in a different way, because we've been talking about grit in positive, but that was grit in a negative way, right? Like that king didn't want to give up his power, so he put somebody in power. Kind of like the Antichrist is going to be determined, and that's negative grit. I never thought about grit as being a negative thing.
Ooh, good question. Which grit?
What in
Which
the
grit do you
world?
think has more grit, the negative or the
Oh,
positive?
man.
Is it easier for something to fall into disarray, decay, and dissension, or
God.
to ascend?
Callers, listen, call at 303-477-5600. We love when y'all call because it opens our minds
Yeah,
to
that
something
was a
different.
great call.
That was
one
a
of my favorite
great,
calls.
one of my favorite calls. That was a great call, man, because it went line in line what we're talking about. I never thought about grit being something that could be negative.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
But most people are determined by grit with the negative.
No, most people are determined with grit in a positive
I would
sense.
say opposite.
Oh, you think?
Oh yeah, I would say so. Because we're living in a fallen world, so most people are pursuing the wrong things to start with.
Selfish, self-serving, all of that kind of
I
stuff.
mean, look at the drug lords out there, determined perseverance to be the biggest drug lord in history. I mean, just look at what's his El Chapo.
Areno.
What's up, Reno?
So what he was talking about, the Ludlow incident, it happened in 1914.
Okay, so
that
it's a
was
while
way
ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
But that was cool. He knew about it. I had no idea, dude.
He said he said the miners were getting like executed, shot.
Yeah, like what in the world, man? Did you hear what he said?
No, there's, there's a movie based on it.
Really?
I'm all about
It's-
movies.
It's the,
Yeah, you are all about movies. I think it's interesting, dude. He said he lost 2 of his kids because of what happened in Grand Junction.
Yeah.
That's
that
unreal, dude.
wasn't luck, though. That was.
Yeah, that was a
something-
different
No, that was different. But he was tying all that into like society and grit, and nothing's new under the sun. So
Yeah.
basically, the devil had negative grit. Maybe the devil really didn't know what he was doing when he tried to revolt against God.
Mm.
Well, of course he didn't.
You think he didn't, or you think he did?
No, if he knew his punishment, he would.
I don't know,
Of
man.
course.
I don't know. I mean, that caller
Crazy.
changed everything because my mind was so set on grit being positive, I never thought about it being negative.
Well, that's a beautiful attribute there.
No, that
Brock.
was a good caller, dude.
But that's a good attribute, though, to be. I mean, not positive to the point of like delusional, but positive to the point of like you're prone to think positively.
right.
So if it's negative, does that throw out the theory of love?
Oh my God. Dude, see, that's what I'm saying. He jacked up our whole show, man. Because I never thought about it. So can you have grit and it be a negative? Listen, people, we have 1 minute left. You mentioned drug dealers. They're determined to hurt as many people as they can, make as much money as they can. That ain't love, but they've got grit.
No, they're not
Yeah.
determined to hurt people. They just.
No,
They just
when you're
disregard.
selling fentanyl, you're determined to hurt some
No, if
people.
you get in their way.
Yeah, you don't want to kill your buyer.
No, you're making
Well,
money.
okay.
I'm not. They're not. Their intention isn't to kill, but that's the effect of what they're doing.
Right. So yes, I had it wrong. That's 100% right there. God, man, that makes
Wow.
me want to have another episode on this. We'll talk about the negative part of it,
Yeah.
because now you're asking a question: can love be a part of grit? Then,
Yes.
oh my
I
God,
still
this
think
is
so.
deep. People, thank you for listening today. Everybody have a Merry Christmas.
Thanks,
and,
David.
Yes, and go to look up Michael's book. It's called The ABCs for Dementia, and if you want some knowledge on dementia, get his book, buy it, and we're like I said, we're going to talk about it on air. We won't be able to receive calls, but we're going to talk about it then.
Merry
Y'all
Christmas.
have a good afternoon and a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See y'all later.
What?
Jesus, that changed everything.